At some point, I'm actually going to have to stop doing videos on the RE27 because they are actually the lowest performing videos on my channel. I'm talking to the RE320 at the moment. I'm recording into this microphone because I will actually be talking about the RE27, but I only actually own one RE27, so this is going to be the microphone for this video for the moment. And also just give me some sound samples I can compare to later for an upcoming video that I'm going to be doing when I'm going to be comparing all three microphones together, which is the RE20, RE320, and RE27. Now, if you saw my last video, I actually purchased this brand new from a retailer called Studio Care. It was £600, which, considering that the price that I nearly won an auction on eBay for, was actually a pretty good deal. In the US, they're actually much cheaper, much more easily accessible. But here in the UK, there's only a handful of them. They're not very popular. And I lost out on a bid at £561. So when I saw the retailer selling this for £600, it was only a little bit more, and I'll get it brand new. So I figured I'd just take the punt and go for it, because it is a microphone that I did actually have a strong interest in, and I was almost at that point of the finish line anyway. Now, there's a couple of things that really stood out to me when I opened this microphone for the first time. The first thing that I noticed, as soon as I picked it up, it was the texture. It was different. Previously, when I had the RE27, it was a very smooth finish and there was no texture at all. But this one, when you actually touch it, you can actually feel there is a texture to this. So I did actually wonder if the last microphone I had was actually really used and it kind of just wore out over time. But then I thought about it, and it would only really make sense if they were literally touching the whole entire microphone evenly, which wouldn't be realistic. It would be handled more on the center on the body, and everything else would kind of really remain untouched for the most part. But the texture on the last microphone was very consistently smooth throughout. Also, the coloring was slightly different, whereas the other microphone that I had in the past, it was actually a bit more darker in tone. It actually kind of looks between like a silver and a brown, whereas this is quite hard to describe, more like a beige, and it's a bit more pastel color. So I actually went back through my old videos and I actually noticed that there's a few more differences as well. And I was also comparing to images that I've seen online. So as you can see at the bottom, the distance between these icons and each switch are slightly different. I've seen some where this high cut filter icon was actually all the way up against the switch on the right, whereas this one seems to be sitting next to the one in the middle. And if I was to just turn the mic around to this side, so on this logo here, mine just says Electro-Voice, whereas the other ones that I've seen online say Electro-Voice, Inc. So I was actually wondering, why is that different as well? Then I noticed on the rest of the microphone, it doesn't say anywhere that is made in the USA. So, but overall, the microphone looks more or less what I would expect it to in terms of the grill design. My last one was actually off-centered, so that's one of the reasons why I returned it. This one looks perfectly fine in terms of brand new condition, everything as expected, minus the differences in the logo and the texture. At this point, I decided to check the box, and then I noticed on the box as well, it actually says now specifically it's made in Mexico. It's no surprise to me that this microphone could be potentially manufactured in Mexico, because this RE320 is manufactured in China. But the thing is, I do distinctly remember that it was this microphone actually stated on the microphone, made in the USA with pride. So I actually started wondering, like, have I got a dodgy one? Because I know there's a lot of fake microphones out there, especially within the Shure realm, but I don't really know about it much within the Electro-Voice ranges. So I then contacted Electro-Voice, or Bosch, who is the parent company who owns Electro-Voice, and I emailed their technical support and I asked them, do I have a fake microphone, in the sense that I showed them the serial number, the box, the receipt, the retailer, the differences in the physical design on the microphone. And they replied back to me basically saying that everything looks above board, everything checks out in terms of the serial number, the retailer, all the differences, all the physical differences on the microphone. It's just that I have a newer version of this microphone. And due to the popularity, I guess it's not widely covered, but there is now a manufacturing change with the RE27, and it is no longer manufactured in the USA, and it's now manufactured in Mexico. Is this manufacturing change something to be concerned of? And I'm going to say no. It's common practice of companies just to try and cut cost. I'd like to think that Electro-Voice will uphold their standards and quality. It's just going to be manufactured in a different place, although it's going to still have the same design and features as the original RE27, which was originally manufactured in the USA. I won't know for sure if there is a sound quality difference until I can get my hands on one of them, which is actually manufactured in the USA. But even at that, I'm probably not the best person to run that test. I think it needs to be done more scientifically, as opposed to just providing audio samples, which is what I typically do. But because I'm based in the UK and these microphones aren't that popular, especially here in this country, they're not easily accessible, especially to find a specific one which is made in the USA. Despite the lack of popularity of this microphone, I'm still going to do a few more videos of it anyway, because I'm interested in hearing the sound quality differences, and I've more or less already decided I'm going to keep this one, and this is going to be my primary microphone. But I'm still very interested in hearing for myself how it compares against the competition. But would this manufacturing difference bother you? Let me know in the comments below. Cheers for watching.